Hey guys, I'm Spencer. I'm here with Matt, and he just got back from the Rank Play Media Summit for Heroes of the Storm with Blizzard, which I'm really jealous of. I'm a big fan of Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, and Matt actually got to go do the whole thing, and he got to see the Rank Play mode, which is coming out soon, and also 2 new heroes.
2 brand new heroes. So people were wondering who they were going to be. We had to bet. Both of us were wrong, but we were kind of right at the same time. So let's not say we were wrong. But the first one is Chromie from Warcraft. And the second one is Medivh, also from Warcraft.
I've been wanting kind of like Medivh. I'm a big Warcraft 3 fan. He kind of kicks things off in that game. So I'm really excited for him. But I think first we're going to take a look at Chromie.
Yeah, so Chromie is a ranged assassin. She's like a wizard with all sorts of time powers. So her trait is called Time Walker, and that means that she actually gets all of her abilities 1 level before when she would normally do. So like her level 10 heroic, she gets a level 9. Pretty crazy. So continuing on, her Q is really crazy because it's like a bolt cast that takes like almost a full second. Yeah, a full second to fire, but it passes through all minions and only hits heroes. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty crazy because like no longer can you just body block via your minions when you're in lane, so you can really have like a strong poke presence.
Yeah, and it's a pretty strong nuke too.
It's pretty heavy. So her W is actually also really cool. It's an AoE that you cast and you see like a sand dragon fly up in the air, and then it comes down like a second and a half later, but no one knows where. Like you're the only person who knows where it's gonna land. Like it doesn't show up on your enemy's screen at all, like all the other areas.
Yeah, so like Asmodan has that, you see that big sphere, nothing like that.
Yeah, no, it's just completely like, does he know I'm gonna juke, or is he like aiming on me, or is he aiming away from me?
So when you're running away from a Chromie, you're gonna have to like, okay, I'm scared. If you run into the bushes, you're definitely gonna get hit by that dragon, like for sure.
And then her E is Time Trap, which puts you like in a stasis for 2 seconds. So she can set it, and once it's all the way set, it becomes invisible to enemies, and then you just try and lead them in there.
Yeah, that sounds really great because I hate when you're about to get that kill at the beginning of a match. Like they're at a sliver of health and they're running back for their health pool, and then they just get away right in time. And I think that this is probably going to make it a lot easier to secure those early kills.
Definitely. And there's a pretty wicked combo where if you do like Time Trap, then you WQ, and then you finish him off with that like giant nuke, which is pretty insane. Her 2 ults, she's got Slowing Sands, which is a giant, like massive area slow, and that sustains until you're out of mana. I mean, you can toggle it off, but it's pretty insane. Like it's a huge area. You can totally block off a zone with it. And then her second one is Temporal Loop, which is basically like putting Tracer's recall on someone. Like it's a 3-second pause after you hit them, and then it ports them back to where they were 3 seconds ago. So you can like totally pre-fire that.
So it's almost like they released a counter to Tracer immediately after Tracer.
Yeah. It was like, oh, we've got this mechanic in the game. Let's just use this again.
Do it backwards. That's so interesting.
Worked really well. All right, so on to Medivh, which we all know Spencer's really excited about. So his trait is Transform Raven. So it's a Z. Instead of having a mount, he just turns into a raven. And what's crazy is you can fly over the entire map. Like you don't hit any walls, you can go over towers, you can't be hit, you can't hit anyone, you just fly.
Yeah, it's so cool. And something that always happens to me when I'm playing is I'll always come around a corner, like I'm gonna go check if the bad guys are there, and then you come around that corner and they're there, and then they kill you right away. And I think this will make it a lot easier to like scout for your team. That's really important, I think.
So Medivh, since his like lore and his history is all about like kind of repenting for his corruption, he doesn't do a ton of damage and he doesn't do any healing. He's kind of this like passive role, but his powers include a teleport, a protect, like all these things that are very handy for that. So first off, his Q, which is Arcane Rift, it's kind of like Rainer's shot, where it's just a straight shot, it plows through everyone. But if you hit a hero with it, it doesn't take up as much mana and the cooldown shortened. So that's handy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do a ton of damage. His W, Force of Will, is insane. Like this will be the first thing to get nerfed. You protect an ally for 1.5 seconds from all damage.
Sounds pretty good.
And the cooldown is 5 seconds.
Yeah, I agree.
It's insane because, I mean, you're not healing, so you're not really a support. He's a specialist. But you can just save people. And as you build out the character, you can even get stuff that makes that an AoE. So now your entire team is protected in this close area. It's pretty crazy. His E is Portal, which is really neat, but outside of some real flashy, like, saves, I don't see it being super effective.
Yeah, like, people probably won't be speccing to build for the portal outside of some really cheesy plays, probably.
There was one talent I saw that when your allies use the portal, they get a Raven Familiar, and I don't know what that means. And I couldn't convince people to use my portals. I was like, go through them and tell me what happens.
Yeah, it seems like that is going to just require a lot of team, like, communication.
I see Medivh being a guy who is only played at, like, the higher ranks. Like, I think that he's 100%, you need to have a team built around this guy and what he does to make it useful. His R's, he's got Polybomb, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a polymorph, but it centers around an area of effect. But what's cool is once that wears out, if any other enemies are within that area of effect, they become polymorph. And that goes back and forth indefinitely until someone's not in that range when the spell ends.
So when, let's say that, like, there's no duration on the AoE, it's just like, as long as someone's in it, it's turning people into sheep.
Well, the AoE centers over whoever's polymorph.
Oh.
So it's like Chain Bomb.
Oh, so you're going to just, that's just going to force people to, like, split up completely. Awesome.
I mean, the area effect isn't huge, so when I was using it, people would usually only chain once, if that, because it's pretty easy once you get hit to be like, I'm polymorph, run! But it's really fun, and sometimes you can catch people off guard in a team fight where they're trying to do their thing and they just get polyed back and forth.
Yeah, I can see that synergizing with a lot of heroes too. That's really exciting.
Yeah, and then his other is Leyline Seal, which is kind of a mix of Void Prism and, like, Sundering. You shoot a straight line, and anyone that's within that becomes trapped within stasis for 3 seconds. So it's pretty heavy, but I mean, it isn't. So it makes sense. But that one is pretty good for dividing up teams during team fights and isolating people.
So we've got 2 new heroes, and something that everybody gets really excited about is also the skins. So what are the skins like for Chromie and Medivh?
Okay, so Chromie and Medivh each have their basic skin and their master skins, which are very similar to what you'd expect, slightly elevated versions. But then they've got, like, one extra skin, which is kind of Blizzard's setup now. You know, you get your regular, your master, and then there's one additional one, like with Tracer, there was Spectre Tracer. So with Chromie, that's going to be Fell Queen Chromie, which is so hard to say, but she looks, you know, kind of like a little goblin sort of vibe, all green with, like, horns coming out, and it changes all of the, you know, sand stuff to be a little bit more, like, foul, you know?
Cool.
A little darker, but it's still Chromie, so she's still, like, really cutesy. But that one's fun. Then for Medivh, you've got Night Owl Medivh, where he's just completely decked out in that gear.
He looks like Batman's sidekick grown up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when you're in Raven form, even that's affected. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, you're now all metal and
that's
have the Night Owl face.
That's
like,
awesome.
It's pretty neat. Like, I love how they change, like, all the powers to match. Along with that, though, they also have 2 other skins that are coming out. Not for Medivh or Chromie. They've got the Widowmaker skin for Nova, because, let's face it, they would have the exact same kit.
And we got a sneak peek of that in the Tracer trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of teased in there. And then along with the Night Owl Medivh style is Eagle Eye Tyrande. So very similar. She's got, you know, like the mask and, like, the body armor sort of look.
Cool. But, when can we see these heroes?
So Chromie's going to be coming out first on May 17th in North America. And then Medivh and the first season for Ranked Play are going to start on June 14th.
Well, check out egmnow.com for all your Heroes of the Storm news, previews. We stream it sometimes, and also all other video games are there. So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And remember, if you like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. Thank you.
Just like it like a few times and then send it to your friends and be like, hey, maybe you should like this video too. And then they'll be like, you know what? I will. And I do.
Yeah.